Hey guys, my name is Loveless, and this time we're here with a high pitched cry for help, chapter 12. For some reason, I jumped to chapter 14, skipping chapter 12 and 13 for some reason that I have no idea how that happened. But I'm fixing that now. Better late than never, I guess. So let's get straight into it. Mike pressed play. It wasn't an immediate response. The video started just fine, with some minor appearance of Mike in the background. He was a flashy student and already had some following during his student years because of the radio station he and some others made in UA. When he debuted, there were already people wanting to watch The Voice Hero. The video was filmed by the media. It was a low class villain, too, so the level of violence shown was about the right to show a 6-year-old. No blood, no gore, no deaths involved. So the couple wasn't expecting Izuku's reaction at all. He seemed excited at first, but the second Mike used his quirk, everything changed. The kid flinched hard. Shota made sure to lower the volume of the video. So, why? Izuku's eyes started watering, and in mere seconds he was crying a whole waterfall. He closed his eyes and covered his ears. The plate he used a few minutes ago ended up on the floor when he tried backing up to get away from the electronics. He was having a complete meltdown. His cheeks were full of tears, and somehow he remained quiet. He was biting his lip pretty hard, and soon felt a metallic taste fill his mouth. Whoa, whoa! Mike shoved everything aside. Are you all right, Loveless? He was stopped in his tracks. Both tiny hands were quickly moved to cover the blonde's mouth. His eyes showed a silent plea for him not to say anything, still crying profusely and shaking his head. The room stayed silent. Yamada didn't move his hands and instead stayed still, looking confused but calm nonetheless. Aizawa moved both hands up, letting him see every movement to not surprise him. He then signed, "He's not gonna scream." But Izuku wasn't watching him. He was watching Yamada, not even blinking. So Yamada persisted, this time talking and hoping for a better reaction. "He's not gonna scream, kiddo." He then turned to look at him, utter terror on his face. Both heroes noticed how Izuku was looking at his ears, searching for something that wasn't there. When he decided that Hazashi wasn't going to explode, he let him go. His hands shakily retrieved from his face. "I won't talk," Yamada signed, not feeling confident enough to say anything. The kid was crying, hyperventilating even. He was moving his hands from one sign to another, not finding the correct one, so he fingerspelled. Curse. Both adults in the room looked at each other, not really knowing what to think. Yamada knew not to take it to heart. Izuku was so young after all. Yamada thought about that word, trying to make sense of the situation. But at the moment, calming the kid down was more important. He was crying hard enough for him to worry about his breathing. His injuries probably aggravated the issue. He moved to be even closer to him, placing a tiny hand on his chest and his large one on top. "Copy my breathing, okay?" For a second there, he was sure the kid would pass out from lack of oxygen. But after some minutes, he was breathing slower, and his sobbing was softer. "Can you tell us what's wrong?" His voice was so soft that it was barely audible. Izuku took his time again, clearly still recovering from all the crying, but then looked at Yamada, who had a soft expression. For once, he didn't feel the need to hide to cry. Although it was something good, he wished to stop crying at all. He tried explaining something that not even he knew for sure, so he made it simple. "You, Curse, and I, Curse." He ended the sentence by pointing to his ears and making the sign for blood. As if the statement wasn't creepy and concerning enough, he then proceeded to point one finger to his lips as if it was something to keep a secret. What the hell was that about? How do you even respond to it? Did his parents tell him horror stories before bed or something? Because whatever is going on was really nightmare material. For what felt like an eternity, no one said anything. Izuku was looking awkward and moved towards Yamada, crawling into his lap and forcefully giving him a hug. For the outsiders, it was really obvious that Izuku didn't want that kind of interaction, almost as if he was doing it for Mike and not for himself. Was he somehow trying to comfort him? He decided to simply accept the very weird hug and hugged him back. Looking up at his husband, he mouthed a very alarmed OMG, his eyes so open that they would pop any second now. Aizawa waited, deeply disturbed by what was going on. He used the 3 minutes that hug lasted to plan what to say next. Kid, do you know what my quirk is? Izuku, who was now a lot calmer, but still a little shaken, didn't respond. I can erase people's quirks. He pointed towards the voice hero, including his quirk. Do you know what his quirk is? This time, Izuku seemed to put 2 and 2 together. Quirkless? Well, that was more confusing. Curse and quirkless. He's not quirkless, Izuku. What you saw was his quirk. He could almost see the gears working in his head, so focused that for once he stopped crying. Do you know what this curse you were talking about is? Where did you hear that? He saw the frown growing on the kid's face. Pure confusion, unconsciously still fingerspelling curse. Was that ingrained in his brain? Mom said I have Curse. Yamada's face turned grim, as if hearing the news of the kid being poorly treated was personal. It was just at that moment he realized before his husband what the kid meant. Everything laid out so clearly in front of him now. Maybe he even had more answers than questions. He wanted to say so much, but he decided to test where they were at. Trying so hard to put his own grief and pain aside, he looked at the kid tenderly. Izuku, voice at a very soft whisper. The kid was alarmed, but didn't try to say anything this time. You can do that too. He pointed to the computer on the ground. If you can do that, it's not a curse, baby. The term of endearment just did the trick. The kid started producing some fat tears again, and the sight was just so heartbreaking because he refused to let them flow freely. It was just a quirk. No Curse? He didn't seem all that sure, but he was trying so hard to have an explanation, everything that would give him a chance in life. There are no curses, honey. And his own eyes filled with tears too. It's just some quirks are harder to control. That's all. By that time, the kid was already sobbing again. I don't think you're quirkless either, kiddo. Aizawa tuned in, slowly guiding his hand to his head. The kid didn't even notice him patting his head. That night I found you, he began, testing the waters. I was able to erase something, and I think you felt it too. He looked at him, a half smile as he scratched his matted hair. I can only erase quirks, and I think that was one. No quirkless? He said, his facade falling apart. They were almost strangers in his eyes. Why were they so soft, so kind? Why did no one else talk to him like that? I don't think so. No. He paused, not wanting to give the kid the wrong idea. But even if you were, you are not cursed, Izuku. The kid started trembling so hard that for a second he thought he was going to have another meltdown. To his surprise, the kid looked up at him, eyes full of tears, a dream looking right through his soul. He could finally ask the question. I can be a hero too? The answer was just in front of his eyes, but he can hear it. He wanted someone to believe in him as he believed in Kachan. He wanted someone to tell him that getting to 30 was not as far as he can get. He wanted someone to tell him that he could do anything he put his mind to. Yes, Bunny, Yamada responded, no lies in his eyes. You too can be a hero, added Aizawa. And like that, they all melted into a hug that lasted far longer than it took for the kid to calm down. He knew then that with this people's support, he too could be a hero. Oh my god, that's so sad. I'ma cry. He's too young to deal with that. Oh, the poor baby. That's too close to the actual canon. I'm so through. Okay, so if you want to see more of this, you know what to do.